Hello students, welcome to Accounting 2401, Principles of Financial Accounting. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. I'm glad to be back. Now this particular lecture is going to cover the contents for week 7 and 8, in which we are going to be covering or completing group project number 1, which entails completing a PowerPoint presentation or research assignment dealing with accounting principles and forms of business organizations. Now, students are going to have 2 full weeks to complete this project. They're going to have from October the 3rd through October the 16th to complete the project. The project is due on Sunday, October the 16th at 11 p.m. Okay. Now, all of the necessary information that you need to complete the project is available in Blackboard. Okay, let me jump into Blackboard. We are going to go to week number 7. Okay. Week number 7, you're going to locate a folder called Group Project number 1. Okay. You're going to click on the group project, and that's going to open 3 additional items. We're going to have the group project requirements, the group project rating criteria, and the group project member list. Okay. Let's start with the requirements. Okay. Now, I'm not giving you the group project to make your life harder. No, I'm assigning a group project because it is necessary that students learn to meet deadlines, to work with others, to collaborate with each other. Okay, so that is why I'm having you prepare this group presentation. Okay, this is necessary. This is a necessary skill for when you enter the industry, the workforce. We are going to be having to work with individuals that we don't know, that we don't like, that we don't agree with. And we have to put our differences aside and get the project completed. Okay. So I have assigned students to groups, and I'll go over the group list in a bit. But it is very important that students establish communication with their designated groups immediately. Okay. As a group, you have to establish clear deadlines as to the dates as to when you have to complete specific tasks within the project. Okay. Now, what happens every semester is students procrastinate. Okay. Here we are one day before the assignment is due, and I'm getting messages left and right on a Saturday night from students. Miss, my group members are not allowing me to participate because I was so busy with work. I hadn't had a chance to open up my email, so I didn't respond. So they've already, worked on the project and completed it. Can I work on it on my own? What can I do? Okay. Well, at that point, you can't do anything. What's going to happen is you're going to get a 0 in the assignment. Okay. You register for the class. It is your responsibility to keep up with all of the emails, all of the assignments, all of the due dates. Okay. So this is week number 7. Okay. I'm posting this lecture on Monday. Okay. So by Monday, you log into my class. You're going to listen to my lecture. Okay. You should respond to your group members, or you should establish communication with your group members, with all of your group members, by no later than Wednesday of this week, which would be October 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That would be October the 5th. By October the 5th, all group members should have established communication with each other. Now, if you identify that a group member is not responding, you are not going to wait around for them. Okay? So, if a group member does not respond timely to the communications of the groups, they will be excluded from the group and they will not be allowed to participate. Okay? So, someone in the group has to take an initiative to reach out to your group members. Okay? On that email, whenever you send out that email, hello, my name is Claudia and I am in group number 4. I noticed that you are in my group. Can you please provide me with your contact information? And when can we coordinate? How can we communicate so we can coordinate the group project, whatever it is. Okay. And then within that email, you're going to put, if we do not hear from each other by such a date, you will be excluded from the group. Okay. It is very important that you set a date. Okay. If I don't hear from you, from the rest of my group members from such a date, you will be excluded. Okay. If you exclude anybody from your group because they don't respond to your messages, please send a communication out. Okay. It is very important to note that only students who actively collaborate and contribute to the project will earn the assignment's points. So if a group member is excluded because they are not participating or they are not communicating, please inform me as to the name of the student and the reason they are being excluded, and copy that particular student on a Blackboard message so I can be informed, okay? So you're going to say, Dr. Mercado, this is group number 4. In group number 4, we had one student, Mickey Mouse, that has not responded to our 5 emails that we've sent out. We've tried communicating in 5 different occasions, and this student is not responding to any of our inquiries. Due to failure to communicate with us, this group member has been excluded. Okay? Send the information for me. That way I know that you've provided me the information and you've warned the student that because they have not communicated, they will not participate. You are excluded from your group because of lack of participation. You will not be allowed to rejoin. Okay? That is why it's very important that during this week, early in the week, you check your emails and you get with your group members and establish communication with them and figure out how are we going to communicate. Are we going to use Pronto? Are we going to use WhatsApp? Are we going to do Zoom meetings? Are we going to do team meetings? Whatever works for your group, you decide. We are all adults and should take group deadlines very seriously. Okay, so please be courteous of everybody's time and respond. You know what? This is Donald Duck. I'm in group number 4. This is my work schedule. If you email me, I'm only going to be available Tuesdays and Thursdays, or I'm only going to be available Wednesdays and Fridays. You know what? I don't check my emails very often, but you can send me a text message to this number. Whatever works. You just need to keep communication with your group members, okay? While you're interacting with your group, it is very important that we respect each other at all times. Okay? I don't want you cussing at each other. I don't want you putting each other down. I want you helping each other, collaborating, and getting this project done successfully. Okay? If you are being disrespectful to others and I, received a notification of such, there will be consequences. Okay? Once the final group project is compiled, it is vital that as a group you establish a meeting time to go over the final presentation and ensure that all of the assignment requirements are met. The group project is not graded on an individual level. It is graded on a group effort. Okay? So, I've heard it so many times where, Miss, I worked on slides 5 through 8 and my slides were awesome. Why did we get a 72? Well, I didn't grade slides 5 through 7. I graded the entire presentation. And if the other sections of the presentation were not awesome, then that's going to affect your grade. So as a group, you need to figure out, okay, we've assigned the different sections to the different individuals. We've put it together. Now let's go over it as a group. Let's provide constructive criticism. Let's help each other out to improve the presentation, to make sure that all of the requirements are met. So as a group, we can get a good grade. Okay? This is a group project. Working alone is not an option. So I don't want to hear it that because you have a lot of work, because you had things going on in your life, you were not able to participate. Okay? Make time to participate, even if it means working late at night, early in the morning. I've been a student for many, many years, and I always had a full-time job. Okay, and I have kids, and I know how it feels to be overwhelmed. But we need to just set our time, during this time I'm going to work on this class, during this time I'm going to work on this class, so you can be able to complete all of your assignments and you do not get overwhelmed. Okay? Organize your time accordingly to ensure that you maintain constant communication with your group and you meet all established deadlines. Okay? Creating this PowerPoint presentation is going to require that students conduct research. Okay? It's also going to allow students to work together in groups, okay, to complete a cohesive project. Okay? In this particular project, a PowerPoint presentation will be prepared in which all members of the assigned groups must participate in researching, preparing the presentation, and recording the presentation audio. Okay? Now, these are the requirements. This is what has to happen in the presentation. The presentation needs to be between 15 to 18 slides of content. Okay? This excludes the cover page and the reference page. 15 to 18 slides of information covering the requirements that we're going to go over in a bit. Okay, so please make sure that you have the number of count of slides referenced. Minimum of 15, maximum of 18. Okay. Now, each of the slides that have content has to include notes. Okay. The notes on each slide have to be between 150 to 250 words. I do count the words. So please make sure that each of the slides has notes that meet the requirement of 150 to 250 words. Failure to satisfy this requirement will result in loss of points. Okay. Now, in the actual slide, you should only include key phrases or points. Okay. I don't want you overloading your slides with information. Okay. Key phrases and key points. In your notes, you're going to provide the supplemental information that's going to explain what you're trying to provide in the slides. Okay. So the note is what's going to be the supplemental, the additional information that you're going to be expanding on or explaining. Okay. Do not overload the slide with information and simply paste the presentation's content in the notes section. That will not be accepted. The notes should elaborate or supplement the information you present verbally within the actual slide. Okay. Please cite your sources. You need to cite your sources in the slide. You need to cite your sources in the notes. Okay. All group members must participate in the research, preparing the presentation, and delivering the presentation. Okay. In addition, all group members must record the section of the presentation they worked on. Okay. I will not accept presentations that are missing audio. When recording, make sure that it is in a quiet location. That way you minimize background noise. Okay. When presenting your section of the presentation that you worked on, please state your name so the audience can know who is speaking. Okay, so you're going to say, hi, this is Dr. Mercado. Now I'll be going over blank accounting principle. Okay, and then you go over the principle. Okay, introduce yourself. Okay, that way we know who is presenting that information. Okay, please make sure to cover all information included both in the slide and in the notes. What happens a lot of the time, students just read the little phrases they have on the slide and they do not mention anything on the verbal presentation, on the audio, about the notes. If you put the information in the notes, it's because it was important and you need to explain it. So when you are verbally explaining the presentation and recording the audio, make sure that you go over all of the information in your notes. Okay? A title slide needs to be included. Make sure that on the title slide you only include the names of the group members that participated. Those names on the title slide will be the names of the students that are going to earn the assignment points. Okay. The title slide must also include audio. Okay. This is where you're going to introduce your group members as well as provide the title of your presentation. Okay. A reference page needs to be included. Now, this is one reference list for all group members. I don't want to see 4 different reference lists. No. As a group, you combine all of your references and you provide me just one. Okay? Delete any duplicate information you have. Make sure that you organize the information in alphabetical order. Okay? So it is very important that you include your reference list, that you organize it in alphabetical order, and that you include all of the references provided by all of your group members. Okay. Plagiarism will not be tolerated. Okay. Plagiarism will not be tolerated. Make sure that you cite your sources, that you paraphrase your sources. Okay. If you obtain information from a certain source, you put it into your own words, but you still give credit to that particular publication. Okay. We are going to be utilizing APA format for this presentation. Okay. Students are encouraged to use statistics, graphs, charts, and images within your presentation. Make the presentation dynamic but professional. Okay. Make it in a manner that's easy to understand, but that is detailed enough for people that are not familiar with the subject to learn about the subject that you're presenting. Okay. Now, what are we going to be researching on? Okay. Now, the presentation needs to include the following components. Organize your presentation accordingly, okay, in this order. First, you're going to define, explain in detail what a business is. Letter B, you're going to explain in detail the forms of business organizations, including service, merchandising, and manufacturing businesses. Letter C, you're going to provide 5 examples of each type of business to include service, merchandising, and manufacturing. Letter D, you're going to explain each form of business entity in detail, including sole proprietorship, partnership, corporations, and limited liability companies. Letter E, you're going to identify the strengths and weaknesses of each of the mentioned business entities, including sole proprietorship, partnership, corporations, and limited liability company. Okay, you're going to include at least 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses for each business entity. Okay, understanding accounting principles is very important. Students are going to explain and define each of the below principles. You're going to explain the importance and impact of each accounting principle on financial information. And you're going to provide 1 example or scenario of how each principle is applied in the business environment. Okay, 3 requirements need to be satisfied for every principle. And the principles are consistency, disclosure, faithful representation, materiality, measurement, historical cost, revenue recognition, and expense recognition. Okay, so for each of those 8 principles, you're going to have 3 requirements. You're going to explain and define each of them. You're going to explain the importance of each accounting principle on financial information, and you're going to provide an example or scenario of how each principle is applied to the business environment. Okay, and then last but not least, we have letter G. We're going to identify and explain the difference between accrual and cash basis accounting. Okay, now the group project is worth 100 points. 90 points is coming from the presentation. 10 points is coming from the self and peer evaluation. Okay, now the self and peer evaluation, we'll go over that in a bit, but it's basically a form where you're going to evaluate yourself and your group members. Okay, every student needs to complete a self and peer evaluation. Okay, if you fail to complete and submit the self and peer evaluation, you are going to earn a 0 for the entire assignment. Okay, it is necessary that every student submits the self and peer evaluation. Okay, I will utilize the self and peer evaluation to identify and assess each member's role and participation in the project. Okay, please keep any correspondence amongst your group members. That way, if any conflict arises, you have information to provide to me. Okay. Each group must designate a team leader responsible for submitting the final presentation. Only 1 submission per team will be accepted. Okay. So every group is going to select 1 member that is going to be responsible to upload the final completed presentation into Blackboard for grading. Okay. So these are all of the requirements, all of the instructions. If you go over them and you have questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Okay. Now, how am I going to grade the project? I've got the grading criteria here. It's 90 points. Okay. So you can see here if the requirement of the slides, everything is outlined and the number of points available for each section. Okay. So if you decide not to do any of these accounting principles, these are the points that you're going to be losing out. Okay, so it's very important. This is basically the grading rubric that I'm going to be using to assess your grade. Okay, so it's basically everything that you have in the instructions. I've put a weight to it. Okay, so read over this information, but this is how your assignment is going to be graded. Okay. Now we go to the group member list. Okay, this is where I've put you in groups. There will be 7 groups in this class. Every group will have 4 group members. Okay, 4 group members. So please reach out to your group members as soon as possible. Establish communication with them. identify the deadlines for your group. Okay, you are going to work in letter A and letter F or whatever the case might be, and I need your part by this date. Okay, someone needs to take a leader role, someone needs to put the presentation together, someone needs to coordinate meetings. Okay, if you have different people doing different things, that's wonderful. If you have individuals, sending corresponding, setting up WhatsApp accounts, sending out messages, reviewing work, there's a lot that has to happen in a group project. So you all need to strategize and organize yourself as to who is going to do what and by when. Okay, so these are the groups. We have 7 groups, 4 group members per group. Okay, and I downloaded this from the gradebook, so everybody should be included. Everybody that is still registered for my class should be included in the list. Okay, so you can also locate the group member list in Blackboard. Okay, this is the group project. Now I've also included under the module overview, if we go there, I've also included down here some additional videos in case you're having issues with APA formatting for PowerPoint, how to add narration, any information. You're more than welcome to search anything that will be of use to you, or if you have any questions and you need clarity on them, please do not hesitate to contact me. Okay, so I've just added some additional videos that might be of help to you while you're conducting your research. Okay, so week number 7, you're going to begin working on your project. Okay, you're not going to submit your project till week number 8. Okay, in week number 8, you have a folder for the group project. There's 2 things that you're going to be submitting. Okay, now the group project assignment, only 1 group member in your group is going to upload it. Okay, just 1. So if you click on it, you're going to have an option to upload your assignment. Okay, so you can add your file here. Make sure that when you add your file that you reviewed that everything's included, that each slide has the respective notes, and that the audio is clear and loud. Okay, so make sure that you've made a review before you upload it. Okay, when you upload it, you should get like a report about the information that you've uploaded, if it's plagiarized or not plagiarized. Make sure that you've cited all of your information. But this is where you would submit your group project, 1 per group. Okay, now the self and peer evaluation, that is what every student needs to complete. Okay, the students are going to download the file. Okay, and they're going to complete the self and peer evaluation. Up here, you're going to put each group member's name. Okay, student 1, student 2, student 3, and student 4. You're going to evaluate yourself as well. It's self and peer evaluation. So you're going to also include your name, and then you're going to put here whether a 0, 1, 2, or 3, depending on the student's participation. Okay, so student number 1, Mickey Mouse. Okay, did Mickey Mouse participate in the discussion and in the brainstorming? Rarely. So you're going to put a 1 there. Okay, maintain positive attitude and help the group members in need? Never. A 0. Contributed to work, research, and presentation? Number 2, sometimes. Okay, so you're going to give a number from 0 to 3 in each of these sections for Mickey Mouse. Then you have Donald Duck. You're going to put Donald Duck down here, and then you're going to rate Donald Duck, and then you're going to give me a total based on each of the group members' participation in the assignment. Okay, if you have any additional comments, you put them in the bottom. Okay, and I will look over that information when I'm grading your project. On the top, make sure that you put your name. Okay, that way I know that this evaluation belongs to Mickey Mouse. Okay, so student's name, Mickey Mouse, and then down here you're also going to include your name down here to evaluate how do you think you did in your participation in this project. I want to see your truthful opinion of how you felt. I could have done better. I did wonderful. I was the team leader. Whatever information that you can provide that here. Okay, so during week number 8, you're going to finalize the project. Okay, you're going to finalize the project, and you're going to submit the assignments in these 2 assignments that I have created here. Okay, the assignment is due on Sunday, October the 16th at 11 p.m. Okay, both of these need to be submitted. Okay, so that is basically what's going to happen. Okay, this is basically just a reminder of an overview to submit the group project and the self and peer evaluation. Okay, so week number 8, you've got the 2 assignments where you're actually going to submit the work. Week number 7 is all of the detailed information about the project found in group project number 1. Okay, this is where you're going to have the 3 files, the requirements, the grading rubric, and the group member list. Okay, please, I cannot emphasize it enough. Please establish communication with your group members. Okay, I do not want to hear excuses. I do not want to hear week number 8, Miss, my group members have already, distributed the work and they've excluded me from the group because I did not respond timely. Okay, please respond to your group members timely. Okay, work on this assignment as a group. Help each other out. This assignment is intended to help students work together and collaborate with each other. Okay, in the process of learning the different areas that I'm having you research on. Students need to be able to learn to deliver presentations. Okay, I've done the research. You should be very familiar with the information you're presenting because you conducted the research. Okay, so in this particular presentation, all I'm listening to is your voice. Okay, I do have some students that record like an image of their faces while they're recording. That is fine. It is not required. As long as it has audio, I'm okay with it. Okay. But that is basically it for the group project. Any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am available Monday through Friday. Please refer to your schedule, to your course schedule, or your syllabus, for my office hours. That way, if you have questions, you can stop by during my scheduled office hours and we can discuss. Okay? I hope you enjoy the project. I hope you learn a lot in the process of conducting your research. I hope you make some new friends in this process as well, that you get along with your group members, and that you build a good relationship with them. And that is basically it for this presentation. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your week.